Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on Drake May and the New England Patriots.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here come the Patriots to take over for the first time, led out by the rookie, the third overall pick back in April out of UNC, and that's Drake May.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
First carry now for Rhamondre Stevenson. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. You talk about this Miami defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And how about that last play? Did you see how quickly they got to the ball? Caused a loss of yardage? Yeah, that play shows exactly why their ranking is justified.
And now they're just hoping to see more of that. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run once more with Stevenson. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. They'll throw with May. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now he's loose down the middle of the field. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask, and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that, and they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up. but obviously the message hasn't really sunk in.
In motion left goes a tight end. A run with Mostert up the middle. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now, the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. This defense for the Patriots, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Tua going to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Now Tua. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Dolphins respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
That's a great response here in this first quarter. And what I like about it is how they put this drive together. The other guys scored quickly to start the game, but this was smart football to not feel like you have to go out and score quickly yourself. So they worked the ball down the field, took their time, and finished with the touchdown run.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 7. That time a 9-play drive, and it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's May. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll run with Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Baringer on to punt for the Patriots. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Speedster Raheem Mostert and the rest of this offense out to start the drive. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
To his throw, complete there to Beckham. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Play action. Now it's Tua. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he returns this to the 22. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd and 6. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To the air, May. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jalen Phillips make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Straight ahead at Stevenson. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And that will be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Watch out for Hill on the return. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. He notched his 15th touchdown pass of the year on that last drive. And they'll look to keep it going here, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. Taken down at the 42. This, the second meeting of these 2 teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the Dolphins with a road victory, so they'll look for the sweep now here in Miami. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Gets this one to Hill. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On the handoff, this is Mostert. so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Now 2nd and 3. They'll run the draw with Mostert. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On first down, Tagovailoa. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Dolphins have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. CD, that's his 2nd touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. New England's offense set to go. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
2nd and 10. From the shotgun, May with it. And that one too wide and incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Bryce Baringer on now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Hill on the return. And running with power here. They can't tackle him. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, and that game is tied 10-all in the second quarter. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Josh Downs, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Malik Neighbors, a touchdown reception. The Dolphins got some strong play out of their quarterback number 1, Tua Tagovailoa. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have the 2 touchdown catches. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They hand it off to Mostert. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. That is caught. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. This is Mostert. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 66 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Sanders' kick is good. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
3rd quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10. They go play action now. May. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
After the turnover, it's Tua. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Mostert fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. One more time with Mostert, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Raheem Mostert, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. New England trying to get a place on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, here's Gibson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll run for it. It's Stevenson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Throwing here is May. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's May. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Bradley Chubb charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from that outside linebacker position. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with May. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 96 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A lane there to run as Mostert able to get about 7 there on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Here's Mostert. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll run with Mostert. And now Mostert is going to be stopped up short. He did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So it goes from a 3-score to a 4-score lead here in the closing moments of the 4th quarter. And whether they got that bonus touchdown or not, it's been a pretty impressive performance.
And they did it with not much time left. But they took when little time was on the clock and used it well, didn't they? Put a real exclamation point on their win with that score.
Sanders on for the extra point. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. And now out come the Patriots. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. On 1st down, here's May. To the sideline and incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
From the shotgun, it's May. Pass to Henry is intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the 1st quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the 1st quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for the Dolphins, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for New England, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.